Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close for a Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Holy banana bread. Middle of the week. We're here all over again. Can't wait, can't wait. We do have a green day today. It actually looked like it was going to creep into the red a little bit earlier, but it didn't. It held up. It held up. The good old TSX held up for sure. What a week. What a week. If you guys have been watching the markets this week, we've had a good amount of green, had a little bit of red in the markets yesterday. But Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin go. We got a 90,000 Bitcoin. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Even 6 months ago, I think if anybody said, "Oh yeah, in November you're going to have a $90,000 Bitcoin," I think a lot of people would be like, "No, no, not 90,000." But yeah, we absolutely did. So that's always fun and dandy. Before we jump into the charts, I just want to point out, if you guys want a Friday market close for supers of any kind, and we will absolutely do that. All right, let's actually jump into the charts here. Give me 1 second here. All right, we're gonna try to bring it up. Here we go. That should work. There we go. Oops, the goat's already up there. It's like the goat's getting anxious. All right, guys, let's take a gander here. This is the TSX. We are currently 0.21% in the green. And you guys will notice this blue line, that's where we started the month. So we're well in the green for the month of November. I'm anticipating us finishing in the green in November and in December. We'll reevaluate when we get to January. But I think we're going to have a pretty good end of the year. All right, the S&P 500 also in the green, up 0.20%. The NASDAQ, they were in the green most of the day, but they have just fallen down. They're at negative 0.05. Now, keep in mind, I don't know why TradingView has a delay on the NASDAQ. So this is 15 minutes ago. The Dow Jones in the green, 0.21. So it's not a strong green day across the board. It's kind of a weak, flat green day, but we'll take it. We'll take it nonetheless. Gold in the red, 0.86 down. Silver down 1.26. WTI, mostly flat, but we're a little bit up, 0.06. Bitcoin having another good day. Overall, up 3.02%. Had a little bit of a correction up here. This green line, that's the all-time high, and I have to keep moving it. But right now, our new all-time high is 93,500. Right now, we're hanging in at 90,699, and those are of course are in USD funds, as that's what Bitcoin is pegged to. Canada-wise, in Canadian funds, it's over 111. So nothing too shabby there. Now, interestingly enough, ETH is having a worse day. ETH is in the red at 1.58% down. All right, let's jump into our heat maps, and you can sort of see we got a mixed batch in here. We got a mixed batch. You'll notice Loblaws. Loblaws is down. They did miss on their earnings today. Give me a second. Let's actually show you that, because I preloaded them. I preloaded them right here. What the heck? Their earnings their earnings button has disappeared. Oh no. I'm gonna just try reloading this. That's unfortunate. Yeah, their earnings button. I don't know why it is. Wait a minute. I don't think I'm on them right now. Give me a second here. Technical difficulties. Yeah, that's the TSX. As soon as I saw that line, but let's go back down to Loblaws. It's still missing. Well, anyway, they did miss on revenue. That didn't help them today. So as you can see, Loblaws had a little bit of a drop. But anyway, getting back here. Constellation Software, look at that, 1.77% up. Oh, Air Canada is up. Look at this. Look at this big movement. They're now up to 24.11. And I sold it at 21. I sold at 21. I should have held out. Should have held out a bit longer. But still, profit's profit, right? It's not. It's still not too shabby. Yeah, for the most part, everything's looking pretty okay. There's nothing really. There's no really big losers, other than I guess you could look at. Well, C&Q's down 1.06. What can I say? And Bell, Bell. Down 1.30. Rogers down 2.75. Communication sector getting hit again today. Oh boy. Come on, communication sector. You got to turn around. Over to the US. We got a little bit, once again, mixed batch. Amazon is looking good, 2.47 up. Apple's up a bit. Microsoft's up a bit. But Meta, Google, Nvidia, all down. Tesla's okay. Tesla's up 0.67, and you can sort of see the giant pump is finally over. It looks like they're starting to level out. If that's all they get for a correction, that would be fantastic. But yeah. I mean, we've had a weird week with that whole giant Tesla pump for sure. Let's see. Anything else in here that's really, really sticking out at me? Not really. It's kind of like I said, it's not an exciting day on the market, but it could be worse and it could be better at the same time. Looking over to crypto, as we look here, Bitcoin up 2.76%, Solana's up 0.6, Doge is up 2.43, and those of you watching the news, Elon officially got his Department of Government Efficiency. So he got his Doge department. Donald Trump appointed him to that last night, him and another guy. So, oh boy. One interesting story here today. Look at this, PEP. So this here is the PEP coin. It's up 32.36%. So, that's not too shabby at all. But as we know, there's about 14,000, and we're going to get rid of the greens. There's about 14,000 altcoins out there, or crap coins as I like to call them. We're just going to pick a random one. Let's grab this one here. Hello Labs. I got no idea what this is. I don't know what it does. It's worth about a penny and a half, but as you can see, since early this year, it's been on a downward trajectory. Don't know what Hello Labs does. Do they, is it a coin about greeting people? I just don't know. So once again, 14,000 crap coins out there. If you're going to invest in crypto, invest smart. Invest in the companies you have high conviction in, or the coins, sorry. Invest in the big ones. Invest in your Bitcoins, your Ethereums. Although looking at them being down, you might be like, I don't know about Ethereum. Yeah, there's coins that are out there that you can, that aren't going to scam you or anything like that. When you take a shot at some of these, micro penny coins, oh boy, you may be throwing away money. So let's get back to the chat. That's what I'm excited about here. All right. Let's see who we got in here. I will start with act as Boodby. Yeah, I was typing up the thing and I didn't notice it until after it was already published. But I had hit the B, which is right above the G. So, it became Boodby. It's fixed, but it's funny. All right. And we got Stan saying hello all. Jersky Beef, hello, good afternoon. We have Niece. Niece is in the house with a hey all. And Mary's in the house with a hello. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. We're at 10 likes right now. I just want to see 11 right now. Come on, hit it. I'll have some coffee in the new coffee cup. Oh, and I got some other news as well. So this bookcase behind me has been bugging me like crazy. So as you guys know, I've actually been dragging up this little portable wall thing to put around the bookcase when I'm filming videos. Well, I'm planning to remove this bookcase hopefully Saturday. And then we're gonna, well, we won't have to drag that thing up for the videos, and it won't be that big eyesore. To me, it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff on it, from Lego to Pops to Bubbly, but yeah, that'll all be moving out of there. So I can't wait. All right. Roku says, hello, happy investors. Mario says, good afternoon. We have Vic in the house. And Vic missed the dip on Pfizer. Bleak is in the house with a hey. Actaz says, I dumped Tesla at the peak of the pump. Oh, nice timing. Nice timing for sure. Oh, boy. Jersky says, Shopify has been on fire. Yes. They had earnings, was it yesterday, I believe, and they did really well on their earnings, so not surprising at all. I had to take a quick glance to see what time it was here, because I can get distracted really easily. All right, we got Amanda in the house with a hi, all. Fantastic. Now, other news going on, it's that strike, that's Canada Post strike. It looks like it's gonna happen. So the 72-hour strike notice has been given. So it's really starting to look like we're going to have a postal strike for the holidays, just in time for the holidays. Couple of pieces of good news. The strikes at the Vancouver port and the Montreal port are now over. The government has stepped in with binding arbitration for both of them. So what can we do? I don't blame them. We can't really afford to have that much of our supply chain shut down. I mean, we have just gotten over supply chain issues. So hopefully whatever the deal is that the binding arbitration comes up with, hopefully it is fair. I'm hoping it's fair, and that the workers can at least be satisfied with that. Vic says, waiting to swing on Torlamine, TELUS, BCE, or Royal Bank. Oh, interesting. Looking for a window in the last 4 minutes. Yes. Sometimes you can get some really crazy deals right at the end of the day. You got to kind of be watching to see what's going to happen, but sometimes you get some really interesting pumps. That's for sure. Vic says, good play on Tesla, Actas. Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. A funny little story. So last night I was just thinking, I was like, okay, Bitcoin's ready for a correction. So I ended the day out of my all my Bitcoin trades. So I just closed out, and then this morning I come to get back in, and I couldn't believe it. During the night it did correct a little bit, but by the time the market opened, it had completely rebounded to exactly where it was. So I ended up buying back in at the exact same price I sold at the end of the day yesterday. I was like, no, I was supposed to get in nice and a little bit lower, but it didn't work out. So, and sometimes that's the way the market goes. All right, 3:58. We got about a minute and 15 seconds until the bell. All right. Let's see. I like to swing and play stock arbitrage. I mean, swing big bucks with many shares for a realized profit. Nice. That's a funny thing. When you make bigger trades or swings, you have that potential to make. You have two potentials. One, you have a potential to make a real big killing and bring home a lot of profit, but you also have that potential to basically make smaller profits. Get in, maybe make $100 really fast and then get out. So there is that option when you are dealing with some of the bigger trades. Vineet is in the house. Hi everyone. Hello, Vineet. And Jordan says, how's things, Candace? Hope you're well. Absolutely. I am doing fantastic. I'm just trying to pick up the bell without making a noise with it. We have 10 seconds until the bell. It's about to happen. I can't wait. Favorite part of the stream, I think, for a lot of people is that bell. All right, here we go. And we are closed. All right. The market is now closed. I hope you found something, Vic, in that last 4 minutes. Let's see. Vic says, I like to get 1,000 shares of some Canadian blue chip, so if it dips more, I don't mind holding. Yeah, absolutely. That's the nice thing about a blue chip, right? If you get into it, even if it does fall, you're going to get your money back if you're patient. Now, the worst thing, and it happens, and this will happen to you guys, it'll happen to all of us. Eventually you're going to buy one day, and the next day we're going to go into a bear market. That's the way it works. Nobody knows when the bear market begins. Because normally a bear market starts off as just a regular red day. It's like, okay, and then the next day is another regular red day. And then they start to get a little bit more nastier red. But you normally glide in and then, to the point that you're not really thinking. You're thinking, okay, we got a lot of great buying opportunities here. And then it really goes. You start to go down and, by the time you realize that it's probably a bear market, it's usually too late to get out of your assets, not without taking some losses. So, it will happen. It's going to be one of those things. And, that's where you have to sort of have a strategy. Like, if you're holding a lot of good stocks, you're fine. You can just wait until, you can just buy on your way down, buy on your way back up. And you'll reduce your adjusted cost base. You'll bring it down quite a bit. So you will, in the end, be really, really good. But it's the people who panic. It's those people who get to the bottom and they're like, oh my God, it's never going to stop. The bleeding just won't end. And then they sell. They realize those losses that were on paper. And yeah, it's never good. But it happens. It'll happen every bear market. There will be people who get wrecked because they just get scared for that simple reason. All right, we got Paul in the house with a good afternoon. And Vic says, patience, nothing worth buying today, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a race. Like, if you don't see something, if you don't see a sale that you want today, there's nothing wrong with waiting till tomorrow. See what tomorrow brings, because you never know. Even though, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, tomorrow's probably going to be a green day. It might be. It probably will be. But, there's the rest of the world may have a completely different idea. And we can have things, that occur. We can have different events. Like today, for instance, the U.S. CPI came out. And it indicated that inflation, it itched up a tiny, tiny bit. But here's the beautiful thing. Pre-election, if we had a little tiny peep on that CPI, a little bit of peep of inflation, what would have happened? We would have had a red day like, we would have had a very, very red day. That's what happened today. The markets are just like, we're chill. The election's over. There's a lot less uncertainty. We kind of know where things are going. It's okay. And that's how it went. So nothing wrong with that at all. Vineet says, I only like pumps. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Well, the thing is, though, the real money, you make it on red days. That's where the money comes from, is you getting in. Like if the market's always just going up, you'll still make money. No doubt about it. But when we do have that correction and something goes down and you get in there, it's going to make that back up and get back to where it should have been eventually. And that tends to be a bit more of a profit overall. So nothing wrong with that. Paul says 1,000 cuts red days. That's kind of like the recession. And keep in mind, if, especially for new traders who maybe weren't here for the last a bear market, when we're in that bear market, you will get days where, you have green days. It's not red every single day. You'll have little green days. You might even have you might even string together a week of green in the middle of a bear market, and then it's usually short lived. But there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. All right. Let's see. I like doing that too, Vic. Ricardo's in the house with a good afternoon. Hello, Ricardo. How are you today? Let's see. So today I scooped me Electric Company ESP. I scooped me 15 shares at $30.80. Could you look to see if I made a right decision? All right. So let's see. ESP. Let's take a gander here. Give me a second. Let's put it up the map, that was the map, the heat map. But let's actually head over here and take a gander here. So you bought, you said ESP. So let's see. I'm pretty sure you're talking about SB, right? Is that the one that you were looking at? Because I don't think it would have been the Brompton. All right. 31.25. Yeah, that's in the right vicinity. Look at this. It looks like you've already had a little bit of movement up on it. All right, let's come down here just very quickly. Okay, what do? They develop, test, and manufacture specialized military and rugged industrial power supplies and transformers in use for harsh and severe environmental applications. Okay, very interesting. Let's go back and take a quick gander at their last year. Okay. That's not a bad movement at all. All right. They seem to be retracing a little bit right now. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper into here and take a gander at a couple things. All right, return on equity 15.07. I like that. The return on assets 11.18. That's not too bad either. I don't have a debt on them, so I don't know if it may mean that they have no debt. Sometimes no debt will show up as just a line. So, from what I'm seeing right now, I do like what I see. The initial sort of scratch on this company looks pretty good. I would make sure that you do a little bit of due diligence, get in there, find out about the debt, make sure that that's not an issue. And one of the ways that you can do that is, there's all kinds of ways. You could go to Yahoo, for example, because sometimes, especially with an American company, the TMX page, that's a Canadian page. So sometimes, they don't always come through an American company. So over on Yahoo Finance, let's pull it. Let's do it the right way. ESP. Here we go. We'll come in here and we're going to come over to their statistics. Let's take a gander here and see if they got a debt for us. All right. They're also coming up empty, so that's probably good. That's probably a good thing. One last place, I guess. We could go over to Simply Wall. So simplywall.st is a really good statistic site when you're looking for, some good data. So we'll put in ESP. All right. Oh boy. That's Esperion Thermopeutics. Vanek Vector. Whoa. Okay. This one's not even coming up with it. What's going on? All right. Let's try this again. ESP. Wow. That's really weird. Normally with a, let's just try ESPEY. Let's see if there's any reason. Here it is right here. I do not know why it was not coming up, but we got it. All right. Couple little things right away. We know that they have actually diluted in the last year. So that's kind of an interesting thing to keep in mind as well. But we wanted to take a look at their financial health. All right. So yeah, they have no debt. 0% debt to equity ratio. So in this case, it does mean that. So I do like that there's no debt. Look at this. They've got a lot of assets compared to liability. So it looks to me like that's not too shabby when it comes to their fundamentals. Just initially, things are looking pretty good. So yeah, I think you're probably okay. And I believe it is already up a little bit from what you paid. It's hard to say. TSX is showing me, I think it's showing me the Canadian number. Let's actually take a look here on Yahoo. I believe Yahoo will show me. Yeah, it's showing as well 31.30. So I think you're fine. I think you're fine. I think it's up a little bit already. Pay attention to it. I mean, one of the other issues, not just share dilution, is that it doesn't have a large market cap. So when a company doesn't have a large market cap, it basically means that that company can react to financial stimuli more severely than a company, say, that has a really big. So, for example, a small cap, they can suffer a lot more in economic turmoil than a large cap would. So that's always just a little consideration to put in there. All right. Dwarley says, let's see, Trump's election victory last week, Canada-U.S. economic ties have come to the forefront, with some saying a more protectionist U.S. posture could complicate trade between the two countries. It's going to be interesting. When we start looking at, for example, when all these tariffs start hitting, Canada will get some exemptions. Make no mistake about that. So, for example, Canadian energy, they're not going to hit it. They're not going to hit that with a tariff. Right now, the U.S. depends on it too much for them to hit that with a tariff. And there might be some other things as well, but I think a lot of the other foreign countries will be hit a lot harder than what Canada is going to be hit. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this all winds down. Now, if we do have an election in the spring and we change governments, that could, maybe Trump would be more friendly with Poilievre than with Trudeau. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that all really boils down. But you can be sure that that's going to be a top concern, I think, on everybody's mind as we move forward. Jay says, is it a good time to buy pharma stock? Let's see, like HHL. I'm now 1,600 shares, and I was tempting BTCC, but missed the boat. All right, so you're thinking of HHL. Let's take a look at HHL. Let's go over there. There we go. HHL, so Harvest Healthcare Leaders. All right, let's pull up here. So, as you can see, what I like about this is that, one, with healthcare, I find there can be a lot of hit and misses sometimes in overall healthcare. So when you're going with an ETF, that's a good thing. That's absolutely good because it's going to isolate you, so you're not going to get stuck with a dud when it comes to some of these health companies. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be fine. Is it your best bet? Hard to say. It's hard to say. It really depends on what your strategy is for it. Now, where you think you've missed the boat with Bitcoin? It's a fun question to ask, right? Like, I do believe, and I'll put this out here. Let's actually head over here for a second, and let's get back to. We'll get back here to Bitcoin. So here we go. So Bitcoin is coming down. Here's that 90,000 or 93,000. Up above here, I've got this little pink line right here, and I'm going to drag this over. All right, and get it right back here. Here's my 100,000 Bitcoin line. So once we've crossed this, we're going to be at 100,000. I actually think 100,000 is reasonable before the end of the year. I'm still maintaining 120,000 on Bitcoin before we go into a crypto winter. Some people, actually a lot of people, are even more bullish than I am. I'm probably conservative bullish on this, but I think 120 is reasonable. So I don't necessarily think you missed the boat per se, but I will tell you, when it comes to Bitcoin, when we do hit this 100,000, I will tell you right now what will happen. Let me just draw it. Blah, 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 we hit it. 100,000, massive psychological level. So I will tell you right now, when we hit 100,000, there will be a nice deep correction. And then we'll head back up. And then we might even correct twice before we break. But it will be a bit of a barrier when we hit it. So if you're investing in something like BTCC or, any one of the ETFs, now I can't tell you that you should sell here, but I will tell you this. Institutional investors know that this is a psychological level. They know that Bitcoin's going to retrace. So if you sold here, let it retrace, and then bought down here, you've basically taken, like, let's say you had 1,000 Bitcoin, not 1,000 Bitcoin, but let's just say you had 100 Bitcoin. Well, down here, you might be able to buy 100.5 Bitcoin or something like that, depending on how many, just depending on how deep of a bounce we get. So that's kind of what smart money will do with these psychological levels. And you can sort of see here, like when we hit, let's see here, where was 90,000? Right about here was 90,000. So when we hit 90,000 the first time, we pretty much went into one of these corrections. Came up, we hit 90,000 again, we corrected again. And then we went up, and now we're looks like we're correcting at 93, but the next big ones, I think big corrections, we'll probably get a correction at 95, but we'll get a nice big one at 100K. So something just to keep in mind for those of you who are playing Bitcoin. All right. Let's see. Paul says, January 2018 Bitcoin bear market was 1,000 cuts every day. Oh, yeah. I mean, also the 2021. 2021, when we had just hit all-time high, we sort of double peaked it to all-time high and a little bit, a bit of a correction, and we got to another all-time high. Then it went, it fell big time. I was actually on a live stream over on Friggin's channel at that time, and we were just watching it live as it was just plummeting down. So obviously, if you're trading Bitcoin to make money, you want to get out before that happens, because quite honestly, here's the funny thing: it happened overnight. So if you were a Bitcoin trader in North America, you may have already been asleep and then woke up the next day, and Bitcoin is all of a sudden, I think at that point it went from 60 to 40. And then eventually it went down to 20,000. It wicked all the way down to, I believe, 18,000. So, it's one of those things. Ideally, if you have, or if you're investing in Bitcoin, if you have that opportunity to get out at the top, like imagine if you got out at 100,000 and then it corrected. Let's say we went into the crypto winter after 100,000. We'll just say, I think it's going to be 120, but let's say we did it at 100,000. All of a sudden, this line may take you down, and maybe we'll make it back down into the 60s. Maybe we'll make it even as far as 50. But imagine, if it went to 50 and you sold at 100, you basically have an opportunity at that point to buy back at 50, and you've doubled your Bitcoin. And then just, you'll have to have patience, of course. It's not going to go down to 50 and then all of a sudden fly right back up. It'll work its way back up. It'll work its way back up. It'll work its way up past all of this and then keep going to wherever it's going to go into the next cycle. So just something to think about. All right. Let's see. Correct. Exactly. So no debt on the balance sheet. Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. I do like that for sure. All right. Vic says that Buffett and Munger taught me patience. Also my doctor as I wait hours at the clinic. Oh, yes. Doctors are, they're very good at making you wait. That's for sure. And then they leave magazines on the table. It's like you take a child today to a doctor and they'll be like, what are those things? Because they probably haven't even seen magazines. Mary says, do we send stickers or chats for a Friday close? Either or. Yeah. No, it's just, they have a thing. They have this thing where I can actually configure a target on the thing. But for one, they only let me do 5s. And I like the 4s. I think the 4s I like the 4s. 4s. I also like the Force too, but I mean Force. And yeah, and plus I actually did reach out to YouTube and I said, look, guys, two things. Let me choose the number, and let the stickers count too, because the stickers to me are, I mean, they're just as cool. I mean, if you got nothing to say, use a sticker, because they're, you got some really cool ones. But if you want to say something, then use the chat. That's that type of thing. Anyway, Vix is running to like. Mary here. There we go. So 45 here, 23 likes. What's up with that? Well, 26 likes. All right, guys. I'm going to take a long sip of my coffee. I want to see that 27th like. Let's do it. Okay, it wasn't that long of a sip, but I'm paying attention. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody just did it. Number 27. I'm proud. I'm proud. Hit the like before Mary enforces it. Uh-oh. Here we go. I'm going to skip Kenneth, but I'll be right back to you, Kenneth. Kevin Kaz is now our goat. We got a goat. So, Kevin Kaz has done it with a super sticker. Fantastic. And it's the pear one with the cup of coffee. I love that one. That one is awesome. Thank you very much, Kevin Kaz. So we're one there. We're almost there. Kenneth said, does anyone know if I contribute to an RRSP using USD, how do you know how much it is toward the RRSP room and CAD? All right, so if you're adding USD directly into an RRSP, you need to sort of know, a couple of ways. One, you kind of need to know what the exchange rate is, because that's going to how it's going to be calculated. Now, mind you, if your USD is sitting in your RRSP, that doesn't matter anymore. It's only at the time when you contribute. So when you go to contribute your USD, your broker should tell you exactly how much was contributed. And depending, I don't know if brokers will actually show you it in Canadian, but you might have to do some mental math there on that as well. Just do a quick conversion. And it's actually really easy. It's really, really easy. Let me show you actually. We'll just go to Google. So let's say right now I'm about to drop, let's say $112 into my RRSP in US. So it's just USD to CAD like that, bang, and there you go. Right now, at this moment, that's worth $156.81. So you may just have to sort of do that to find out exactly what you're adding in. All right. Tom Smith says, yes, now Air Canada is just Now Air Canada is just rubbing us in. That's funny. I turned Tom on and off a couple times because right above him, of course, is Kevin Kaz's super sticker, and it's highlighted. So it was like, oh, why is that one still on? I'm trying to put Tom up there. But anyway, yeah, Air Canada. Let's go over there. All right. So Air Canada was the big swing that we were going to do in the challenge. And I'll just come out to the 5-year. So here with the whole idea is, actually the 10-year. The whole idea is this is kind of where Air Canada was after the pandemic. So big drop. They did a lot of dilution, so we knew they were never going to get back up to there. So reasonably, around $20 seemed to be a nice level. So what I started to do in here is like every month it was under $16. So you can sort of see down here, here's 16 right about here. So basically in that little area, and we'll just, we'll shrink this down a little bit to the 3. So while it was down in here, I was buying, planning to sell it at 20. And then, oh boy, it exploded. Rate cuts helped because Air Canada has a lot of debt. But they also had a good earnings call. And they announced that they're going to be buying back 10% of their shares over the next year. So what buying back does is it decreases the level of outstanding shares, which then actually will increase the share price. The investors really, really like this. So Air Canada has just been on an upward. Now, I had planned to sell at 20. So that morning when we crossed 20, I was like, okay, I'll ride it up. So, I got up to almost 22, and I had a stop loss at 21. I put in a stop loss at 21, and didn't it retract to 21? Fired off my stop loss. So I ended up selling. Profit, no problem there. But, look at this. I missed out on another $3 per share right there. And Tom as well. Tom had a nice big trade as well. Now, I believe he actually sold above 21, so I think he did even better. But, yeah, it's kind of that thing. It's like, But here's the thing. This will happen to you. Sometimes you're going to take profits off the trade table, and you're going to miss out on future profits, more profits. But at the same time, it can also completely go the other way. So you can never beat yourself up for taking profits, because there's you might as well get some money in your pocket. Whereas if you didn't take the profits and then it went and retreated, well, all of a sudden you could be back in the red, and you may have been like, I can't believe I didn't sell. So never beat yourself up when you take profits. There's nothing wrong with that. Ajay says, Wealthsimple is just too slow to execute doing Bitcoin. It is something they need to improve on. I agree. Like I do my trading on National Bank for the simple reason that it's very agile and I can move really quickly on it. Wealthsimple, I don't see Wealthsimple as being a trader-friendly platform at this point. But, and I'll put this but in, Wealthsimple's always improving themselves. And now that they are bringing in, they already brought in options, but now that they're looking, and in beta they have margin accounts, I can see them improving their interface big times, because when it comes to people who are doing that type of trading using margin, if Wealthsimple wants those people on their platform, they gotta give them a better experience for sure. All right. Oh, I just see Mary. I see Mary. I gotta remove this goat, and we'll bring up Mary. So we got another super sticker, $2.99. It's the Shiba dog one. Gotta love it. Thank you very much, Mary. So that means Mary is now. Whoops, that's not the goat. This is the goat. Here we go. Mary is now the goat, and I'm just going to take a quick peek ahead, make sure I didn't miss one. All right, good. So that's two. We're two away from a Friday stream, by the way. Now, I did jump over Paul. Let's get back to Paul. Let's see. December 26, 2017, sold 21.5 thousand. December 27th, 2017, sold 19.5 thousand. January 13th, 2018, sold 13,000. That is how fast it went down. Right. Oh, the Bitcoin. Yeah. That's, or is this what you sold it at? So from 20, okay, not that you sold 21.5 thousand. So it was at 21.5 thousand. A couple days later, 13,000. Yeah. Now, the good news is, though, as Bitcoin becomes more and more institutional, so as we get more institutional investors in, and we've seen a lot of that because of the ETFs, these giant drops are probably going to take a little longer, and they're probably as well, we're going to get to a point where there will be a lot more stability, and these type of drops will eventually become a thing of the past. I think the next one will still probably have a good drop, but you got to look at it this way too. If in January, if we haven't yet gone into the crypto winter, and then you've got President Trump all of a sudden starting to add Bitcoin to the U.S. balance sheet, that could be very interesting. That, maybe we won't even get down to 50,000. Imagine if we only went down to like 70,000. It could. There's so many variables at this point, but we'll be analyzing it like crazy as we get, of course, closer to that. All right. Let's see. 28. Sold at 21. Still happy. Yes. Tom, you did very well with that sale at 21. I mean, you would have done even better at 24, but you've got nothing to complain about. That's for sure. All right. Kendall says, years ago I started buying EIT at $13. Bought 500 four times down to 12. My average price ended up $12.50, so I recently sold 500 shares at $15.50. Wealthsimple still shows my average price of 12.5. I'm confused. There's a couple of things going on here. Basically, when you're looking at Canoe, so EIT. Now, I don't know if you were holding it in your TFSA or not, but Canoe is very much into using return of capital. That is a normal part of their distribution. So what that means is if you are holding it outside of a TFSA, and you'll probably still see it in your TFSA as well, but you will from time to time have that price come down a little bit. Your adjusted cost base should be moving down when they're of course giving you capital, because when you get a return of capital, it basically you're getting your capital back, so it does reduce that adjusted cost base. So in this case here, you'd have to sort of do the math, and I sometimes find I know that Vineet complains about Wealthsimple's math a lot and sometimes I think when it comes down to the end game. So when you're getting your tax documents and everything from Wealthsimple, those are all accurate. Those are all going to be accurate. But sometimes the interface, I think, sometimes it gets a little confused. Now I've never really run into issues myself. I'm just replaying what Vineet tells me, because I bet you I get a message from Vineet at least maybe once a month that Wealthsimple has done something wrong. So that's kind of interesting. All right, now I'll get to the second half of your thing here in a second, Kendall. I just want to, Paul. Oh, I gotta remember to remove the goat. All right, we'll reinitiate the goat for Paul. Paul sent a super sticker. The money mouth face, absolutely awesome. There we go. There's 3. One more, we get that Friday stream. All right, and Kendall is saying that my average cost price is always showing $12.50. Interesting. Now, I'm wondering, a couple of questions, Kendall. Are you holding it in a TFSA or are you holding it in your personal? The other is, have you looked at what it states? Have you actually looked at what, from the amount that you've sold, have you looked at your returns, and is that money coming in accurate? Those would be the kind of things I would sort of look at. Because I do know in some situations, like I know National Bank is fairly, they're fairly in tune with Canoe's with Canoe and getting those adjusted cost base, getting it adapted in time. But I'm wondering if it's a situation where just Wealthsimple is taking its time. But you're saying it's never moved. That's really, really interesting. And the reason I ask if it's in the TFSA, it doesn't matter. And it might be a situation where maybe Wealthsimple's like, we're not going to adjust these in the TFSA because it doesn't matter. That's what I'm wondering. Now, this is pure speculation, right? What I would almost say, okay, non-registered holding. Okay. That's kind of odd. Kendall, I would almost contact Wealthsimple's customer service and just sort of say, hey, what's going on? Because these guys use return of capital. This number should have changed. Like, it should have come down. How much? It's hard to say. I'd have to actually take a look at the tax breakdown for Canoe and see exactly how much return of capital they have provided you in that little bit of time. But on the bright side, if it hasn't come down and if it doesn't, if on the tax documentations that you're getting from them still has it reflected at that, because I would be concerned that when you sell, even if they haven't changed that listing in your app, are they changing it when you sell? That's what I would be most concerned about. Like, because if you think you're selling at $12.50, and let's say it's $12.25, but they just haven't adjusted it, then you're going to find that you're getting a little bit more capital gains than what you may have anticipated. But I would just check with them and ask them why. I know it sounds like they're pretty good. I know Vineet talks to them all the time because he has some obscure thing, and I'm like, talk to Wealth Simple. I don't know why it did that. All right. Yeah, and you're saying that it hasn't changed in 2 years. That's really crazy. That's kind of crazy. And yeah, absolutely. I would definitely give them a call, or I don't know if they have a chat or anything. I've never really had an issue, so I haven't had to contact them. So your first purchases were the most expensive at 13. Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, if you look at them now, I mean, they're doing pretty good right now. EIT.UN. There we go. Where are they sitting at right now? So 1549. That's, yeah, they had another big bump. That's that's craziness. Yeah. Now, keep in mind too, it's, well, you know, I'm wondering. Now, I'd have to look at their tax, like, unfortunately, with tax documentations right now with Canoe, we're not going to be able to see any of this year. We're only going to basically be able to see 2023. But it would be interesting to know, maybe they're having less return of capital this year, but yeah, I still wouldn't guarantee it. But this is fantastic. 1549. I can't believe it. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. And let's see here. Yeah, I can phone because I'm a generational and client. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Oh boy. All right. Oh, let's take our final looks at the market. We have not yet done that yet. All right. Look at this. All right. So the TSX did finish in the green. We had a pretty strong finish. We had a nice green candle to end the day. I'm just gonna, what's going on here? There we go. I just want to see where we are compared to that blue line. S&P 500. Oh boy, look at that. They almost, pretty flat day, 0.02. NASDAQ did finish in the red, 0.16 down. Dow Jones, slightly in the green. So pretty flat day in the U.S. overall. Gold down 0.88, silver down 1.24. And WTI has slipped down to 0.07 to the negative. Bitcoin still holding in at 1.57. Ethereum still down. Fun. Here is NVIDIA. Now, well, okay, well, they've made a small movement after hours. Coming up, we're gonna have, I think it's next week. I think it's actually next Wednesday when we have NVIDIA's earnings. So we'll be here for that. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. And Tesla's made a bit of a move as well at the end of the day. Not too shabby. Looking over here, the market's closed. Let's see who the really big winners are. Oh, look at that. Alimentation Couche-Tard up 1.73. Not too shabby. Here we got CAE Incorporated. That's a huge jump. Yeah, that's pretty good. They're up what? 11.94%. So, all right. Let's see. Suncor is up pretty good. Open Text is up. Look at this. There's quite a few people. Oh, Air Canada actually made it even further. They were up. They're at 3.38%. So pretty cool. Over in the U.S. Yeah, more red. It looks to me like it's more red than green, but let's get rid of the losers. Let's bring up the winners. You can see Amazon definitely looking good, 2.48% up. Walmart's up a little bit. Home Depot is up. Who is this? Oh, Coupang is up as well. I don't know who they are. 5.67. Oh, it's an e-commerce platform. Okay. So yeah, not too shabby. There's that Pfizer that Michael's normally in here talking about Pfizer, but They had a good day, up 2.02%. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. And of course, with crypto, I can't believe how much red is in here compared to Bitcoin. Normally, when Bitcoin's in the green, we got a lot of other things following suit, but not today. Not today. We do have, as we mentioned before, this Pepe coin here that's up 31.22%. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right. Andrew says CNR. Let's see. Let's take a look at CNR. Let's head over here. All right. CNR is one of my favorite stocks. I have an affinity for railroad stocks. Let's come back here. As you can see, I mean, CNR, they've been struggling a lot lately. It's always nice to see some movement to the upside. I would like to see them back up, though, at the 177 area. Although, at 156, what is my... Just give me 1 second. Let me find out. I'm trying to find out what my adjusted cost base is on CNR. 154. So we're still a bit above it. But yeah, see, there would have been an opportunity at 150 to bring that cost base down. Other than the fact that right now, CNR I have... Let me take a look here. No, I could pull off one more share. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, cool. So I need to pay attention to CNR. I would actually have to sell a couple of cash in the challenge to add another one, but that's what they're there for. That's what I got that money parked into cash for. So that might be an option. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. All right. Patricia has made it. Hi, I'm a bit late. And this is a crazy market. Yes. Welcome to an election cycle. And this is an election cycle unlike any I've ever seen before. And here's the funny thing. I have a feeling that this craziness could even go all the way to the inauguration. You keep thinking, gosh, are we going to run out eventually of whatever's going on? But no, we're still pulling it. We're pulling it along. Oh, I better move that goat. I always keep forgetting to remove the goat. I need to have it. I don't know how. Maybe there's a way I can program it so it will disappear soon enough. We are getting close to December, guys. So that means financial blogmas. Oh boy. That means every day from the 1st of December to the 24th of December, I will have some kind of a financial blogmas content. I think it's mostly going to be little live streams. But we'll see. I mean, you never know. There could be, I could do something odd in the middle there. I just don't know. But yeah, and the first one is actually, it's going to be fantastic because the first one happens the 1st of December is a Sunday. So you also get a this week. So you get normally the this weeks go to about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Holy banana bread. How did they get that long? I don't know. So yeah, you're going to have an extra piece of content in there. I think the first one is more or less just sort of introducing what it's going to be and then maybe have a topic. It's going to be interesting. Now the other thing too, and this is something, couple of housekeeping things. Channel members. Right now there is a vote for your stream for tomorrow night. And there's a tie. There's a tie in there. So if you have not yet voted for the topic for the exclusive channel member video for tomorrow night, head over to the community tab and be sure to vote. Let's get that tie broken. Because I don't want to have to choose between the two topics. I want you guys to choose. So yeah, let's do that. If you're a channel member and you haven't voted, be sure to do that. The other thing, and this is kind of this is a whole community thing. I'm expecting to hit 5,000 subs in December. So we need to start thinking a little bit about that celebration video and what we're going to do for that. It'll probably be a live stream. Let's be honest. I think most of them have been live streams. Other than that what was it, the 3,000? At 3,000, you guys had me do a parody news video, and I thought that was a great video. Nobody watched it, but I liked it. I thought it was good. But yeah, we'll definitely have something. So if you guys have ideas, just hit the Discord. Hit the Discord. Throw them up there. Maybe I'll create a thread or something over there for it. But or even hit me with over on the Facebook. You could hit me on the Facebook group, or even in the comments on any video. Throw up some ideas, and we'll see what we can come up with. Because I want something. It's 5,000. We got to do something fun. That's the way I look at it. So pretty darn cool. All right, guys, we're getting close to the end. If you got your final questions, let's get them in here. We're also one super chat away from a Friday show, by the way. So, there's that as well. But yeah, get those final questions in. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys are contemplating what you wanna ask, or if there's something you want me to look at. That's so good. Oh, I definitely love that. Oh, all right. Just trying to think, what else did I have going on this week? Oh, I do have I have a phone call tomorrow with Evolve. So Evolve may be our first sponsor. So Evolve ETFs. They got a good bunch of ETFs. So we may have that opportunity to do something with Evolve, which will be kind of cool. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow afternoon. Then I have to fit them in, fit them into the schedule as well. It's busy. It's very, very busy. December is looking to be absolutely crazy. Oh, I just wanted to let's pull up the Discord for a second. What? Okay. Oh, Paul, what did you post? Don't say that. I won't say that out loud, or I'll probably get demonetized. Let's just head over to the schedule for a moment. All right. So coming up on Friday, we have it's our second. We actually did 2 subscriber sponsored videos this month. Normally we just do 1, but everybody wanted ZID, so we got ZID finally done. This one's Fairfax Financial. I gotta say, this is a great company. I would highly recommend you check out this one, because yeah, just wait till you see their fundamentals. Wait till you see their fundamentals. Now, Fairfax Financial, they have drawn a lot of comparison to Berkshire Hathaway, so you definitely, and not just because they're very expensive. You definitely want to check this one out. Oh, and this one here, in case you guys have missed it. So I did that easy mode with the blue chip ETFs, and I get comments, people saying, "Well, what about this one? And what about this one?" And they were more income based ETFs. So we're actually going to do an easy mode income ETFs this time around. So we're going to look at the high income ones for those people who are building that income portfolio. So I think that's going to be absolutely a lot of fun. All right. Let's just drop this in here. We got our final goat of the day. So the Banana Bread Company has come in with a $2 dividend, and they are now officially the goat. We have another goat. So absolutely cool. Absolutely cool. All right. Andrew says, I heard PRL got into a small cap index. Oh, really? I haven't yet, but I heard of it yet, but I might have to look into that. And Andrew said, I just got off the phone with Wealthsimple. They were great. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think they have really good customer service. I like the company. As I said, the only complaint I have about Wealthsimple is it's not the best for traders yet. I'm really hoping they change that, because I would love to see, I would love to be able to do all my trading there completely. So that's something just to keep in mind. I'm not about to ever switch over to like Moomoo. I'm still against Moomoo. Although I will admit, I do think Moomoo, from what I'm hearing, Moomoo has a lot of really good tools. So there is that, but I'm still not gonna jump on the Moomoo train at this point. All right, guys. Well, once again, we've had another fantastic stream. I love these. I love these a lot. We'll be back here on Friday. I have a the way the week is going, I imagine we'll have crazy stuff to talk about on Friday because it is just absolutely crazy. And as well on Friday, you'll have that video. Oh, and yesterday's video, by the way, guys, it's actually doing really well. So if you haven't caught it yet, yeah, be sure to give it that final boost. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one, and yeah, I just can't wait. All right, guys, let's see here. I cannot leave in little mode. We gotta be in big mode. We gotta be in big mode. All right, let's do that big mode. Here we go. Bang. Let's hope that we can have the green again on Friday. So until then, guys, I will bid you guys farewell. You guys are awesome as always. Bring the questions Friday. We'll have an awesome stream. Until then, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.